Yeah,
It's just life, bud. Don't worry about it.
it's ridiculous, man.
It's always next year.
There is always next year, but now we're talking about this year, and we're ready to win some games. Welcome to the Dragon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, it's Eric, it's Josh. We're here to throw a little recap on week one, get you ready for week two. Who you starting, who you setting, who's the heroes, who's the villains. Boys, it's going to be a good one. Let's go to this music. Boom, there it is. How'd you guys like week one of football? Josh, how did week one go for you?
I loved week one. I thought it was a lot of fun, man. I'm glad football's back. That's all I got to say. Like fantasy, I honestly, I was more pumped about just watching football again than I was my fantasy teams this week. So I'll start honing in more on fantasy. But right now, I mean, I'm still excited. I'm living the high life, especially after that Monday night game. Man, that was amazing.
That Ravens-Raiders game was great.
It was so good.
I mean, it was weird, but it was great.
So all the primetime games right now, that Rams game wasn't really entertaining, but the rest of them have been pretty close and entertaining.
Yeah.
Both the Thursday games.
Surprisingly, yes.
Game.
Especially this week's Thursday game. So.
Yeah, even without Washington, or even without the bearded one, Washington got it done. So that was pretty good, man. It was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I actually had someone hit me up and said, "Hey, would you start Sterling Shepard or Jalen Waddle?" And I was like, let me get back to you on that. And then I was like, okay, we'll go with Sterling Shepard. And I gave him my reasoning for it and everything. Thank goodness he got
nice,
18 PPR points last night. Because when someone hits you up and they ask you for specific advice, you're like, man, I don't want to be wrong about this. But
yeah,
I'm glad that worked out.
It's funny you say that because I had a buddy ask me, he's like, hey, over or under on this game? And I was like, well, let me look it up. It's like 41. I was like, man, Washington, Danny Jones will turn the ball over. Washington will get up. They'll run the ball. The defense will take over. They'll pin their ears back. They'll shut down Danny Jones. And then, of course, it's, 59 or almost 60? Yeah, 59 points they score. I was like, man, I'm sorry, dude. I feel like an idiot.
What are you supposed to do? A lot of times, like you have what you think to be logical reasoning, and it just doesn't ever work out that way sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's fine. That's fantasy, dude.
There's no logic in football or fantasy football or, either or.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Still a lot of fun, though.
Not when Gibson's on the bench in the red zone.
We started with Monday night last week.
Okay.
This week, we're going to start with heroes and villains.
Oh.
Hope you're ready. You ready?
Are we starting by position? We want to go by position?
Well, I'll just do one hero, one villain. We don't need to do a hero and villain for each position. Let's just do one hero, one villain.
All right. I like it.
All right. Josh, you got a hero this week?
For the upcoming games this week, I like Daryl Henderson this week.
Ooh, okay.
I like Daryl Henderson a lot.
He did get a lot of work last week.
Against the Colts, I feel like he's going to be a solid RB2 this week. So that would be my hero this week.
Okay.
All right. Eric, you got a hero this week?
I like the red rifle against the Cincinnati defense. I think he'll have a better showing. Obviously against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, that was pretty rough. But they did move the ball. Okay. They didn't score a lot of points, but they moved the ball all right. I think he'll bounce back. A-Rob will have a better game too. Maybe even Dave Montgomery did okay. He got in the end zone at least. But yeah, I like the red rifle against Cincinnati. I think that'll be a little bit of a shootout because both those defenses aren't very good.
My hero is Big Ben this week at quarterback.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
The cojones on this man.
At home against the Raiders. Raiders just played the overtime game. Yeah, the defense looked okay, but let's be honest. Lamar Jackson did not look right in that game at all.
He did not.
The offensive line's still not good. I don't think Najee Harris is going to run the ball well. I think Big Ben's going to have one of his 4 or 5 touchdown games. Big Ben, I got him as a QB1 this week, boys.
Hey.
A QB1 this week. Okay.
Wow.
That is Vegas going to the East Coast for the early game too, for the 1:00. So yeah.
And they played a late Monday night game.
It could be.
One less practice.
They could be tuckered out.
Yep. All right. What about a villain? Eric, you want to start off with villains here?
Ooh, that's a good question. Brandon Cooks had a pretty nice showing last week. I don't think he's going to do the same against Cleveland.
Okay.
I don't think Baker will have to throw it as much. I think they'll be able to control the clock with the run. I think they'll take away a lot of possessions from those guys just by the nature of having a monstrous time of possession. So I think Brandon Cooks doesn't see as much work this week. This week. I think he's up. Probably an okay flex play, but he was a wide receiver, high end wide receiver 2 last week.
Yeah. My villain is also the wide receiver position. It's Corey Davis.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Will Fuller.
No, Corey Davis, man. He had 2
He looked good last week.
Big week 1. But New England's coming to the Jets.
Oh, he's going to get Stephen Gilmore.
He doesn't get Gilmore, but he gets – because Gilmore's still out. But
Oh, is he?
it's still it's Bill Belichick knowing, okay, you like Corey Davis, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're a rookie quarterback, I'm going to work you because that's what Bill Belichick does is work rookie quarterbacks over. Corey Davis, 0 touchdowns this week, probably single-digit fantasy points. In PPR.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're
He only
probably
had
right.
5
He's
receptions.
super
He only
good.
had 5 receptions last week.
That's true. That's true. It's true.
And 97 yards and a touchdown. So if you tell me he gets 5 receptions for 40 yards this week, simple math, that's 9 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Okay.
So Corey Davis, my villain this week.
All right, I like it. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs because he's not playing. It's going to be – it would be an easy one. No. So the Jaguars are going to be playing Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Urban Meyer knows what he's doing yet, and I don't feel comfortable starting James Robinson. James Robinson to me this week is a super villain. Like I know that people want with Travis Etienne out of the way, and it's not a good look. That offense is in shambles. I don't think they know what they're doing, and unfortunately, James Robinson didn't even get the lion's share of the work last weekend. So I'm gonna say James Robinson's gonna be a sit for me.
Well, okay, let's throw this out there.
It's a no for me, dog.
You're in a weird league. You have to choose between Carlos Hyde or James Robinson. You have to start one. Who scores more fantasy points this week?
I think Hyde does. I think he got so many more touches last week.
It's so gross, but it's so true.
Let me see if I can pull that up.
He did get most of his work, though, I believe, at the end of the game.
When they were getting destroyed.
But DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams were the same last week, but great. I mean, you're taking the points any way you can get them, especially if you have to play one of those 2.
That's
but
true.
I think Jacksonville is going to be out of the game a lot sooner than they were against the Texans. And they got out of that game really early.
That's fair.
That is possible. I mean, Teddy Two Gloves look pretty dang good. So, I mean, that's Denver winning the Super Bowl, maybe.
You wish.
I mean, we're closer to winning our division right now than the Cowboys are. So, what's up with that?
I mean, it's Dallas. That's not saying a lot.
Our entire division is 1-0. What's up, dude? Where are you at over there?
Isn't all the West 1-0?
Yeah, NFC
and AFC, right?
Wait, the Cardinal? Yeah, the whole NFC and AFC West, both Wests, 8-0. That's pretty good. You can't knock that. Don't knock it till you try it, baby. But there's some interesting news out this week, and by that I mean there's not really a lot. Peyton Barber, though. Peyton Barber has made the news headlines. The reason I say that is he's going to be the starting back for your Las Vegas Raiders. Peyton Barber, he just keeps latching on with different teams. Good for you, buddy.
It's incredible.
But if you're starting a Las Vegas running back, you're starting Kenyon Drake, right?
Yeah.
They said Barber's the lead guy. They just announced that today.
Yeah, and the Bucs said Rojo's the starter too. And then Bruce Arians said we have 3 starters on our team.
Yeah, but they're all bad. And this is bad too. But
Barber's good.
No, he's not. But the problem is Gruden, Chucky, he's got the ADD with the players. So he's like, he's seen Kenyon. Oh, Josh is out. So Kenyon, well, he looks okay. But, I got this new guy, Peyton Barber. So I'm going to give him 20 touches this week. It'll probably be split pretty evenly, I imagine.
But the PPR numbers, I think, are going to go to Drake. Drake looked good in the passing game last week.
Yeah.
Had some plays. That's where I think is going to be the difference.
I agree with you. I just think he'll get like Peyton Barber got a lot of goal line work with Washington last year, and he'll probably get it with the Raiders if they have those opportunities.
There's also some news about a War Eagle being signed. Carrion's back in the league.
Hey,
he's man, that's right. He's out in San Francisco, right?
And he's going to get a chance. He's going to get a chance because they always get hurt. So
don't you say that about Elijah Mitchell. Don't you say that.
No, I don't want them to get hurt. I'm just stating facts. For whatever reason, they're snake bitten at the running back positions.
We'll talk about that when we get to that game. Let's start getting into some games here, and we'll talk about some news as we go.
Okay, all right. That sounds good.
Unless there's any other big news you want to talk about, but I think
just a Will Fuller situation. His coach said that it looks like he's not going to play this week, and they don't know if or when he'll return to the team. So that's just something that I did want to discuss, kind of like as a separate issue.
Okay. Let's talk it then before we get in games. You want to talk it as a separate issue?
I didn't mean like literally. I'm just saying it's just something I wanted to point out as kind of a standalone thing because this does kind of help Jalen Waddle and Devontae Parker quite a bit, which is good, despite them having terrible quarterback play, which I think they do. I don't think Tua's great.
He wasn't bad last week. Against that defense, I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah, he's all right. But hey, I'm just saying, he did get the W. That's absolutely right because Damian Harris fumbled it away. But
Jalen Waddle, baby.
He wasn't going to be great anyway in this offense because Tua doesn't have a deep ball. Okay, they're eating W's over here, so let's just get into the games. Let's just go.
I mean, W's for Jalen.
No, I do want to talk. I do want to talk about the Miami receiving situation when we get there.
Okay,
because I think there's a lot to talk about there.
Let's get
Bengals and Bears.
Oh my!
The Bengals are leading the AFC North right now. They are. It's facts.
Who are the Bengals?
The Bengals are 1-0.
Oh, yeah. Who'd they play last week? I don't remember.
Don't worry about that.
Well,
all right, let's talk about Bengals and Bears.
The Steelers are tied with them.
And so the Browns lost and Baltimore lost. But Bengals, Bears. Joe Mixon got 29 carries last week.
He sure did, Bob.
That's a lot.
Josh, you are the resident Joe Mixon hater. If you're telling me Joe Mixon's getting this kind of work in a game where he went to the tent twice, how are you feeling about Joe Mixon?
It's funny because I get the alert in the first quarter. Joe Mixon's exited the game with an injury. I'm like, well, that was pretty easy to see. But right now, this early in the season, you got to play him. I think this is a fine matchup for Joe Mixon. He's going to get the work. That was pretty obvious. He's a start for me. He's a start.
You have to.
They're trying to keep Burrow's numbers down.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm trying to keep him upright. Yeah, you have to establish the run. So you at least have the threat of play action.
I think Joe Mixon's one of those fringe RB1 players just because of workload. There's really nobody else there.
For sure.
What about the two quarterbacks? Eric, we know you love Andy Dalton. Are you saying Andy Dalton is a QB1 this week?
Against that defense?
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't.
No, I don't think he's a QB1. But if you were somebody that was streaming quarterbacks or took Fitzpatrick late or something like that, and you need a guy to fill in, this is a good week to have him against that Cincinnati defense because they're not good. So it'll be a shootout.
Okay.
More than likely. I'm not saying they're each going to drop like 40, but if they score in the mid 20s, low 30s, I think that's probably doable for those teams.
What about Joe Burrow? Matt Stafford ate this defense up last week. Do we think Joe Burrow could at least do what he did last week? Do you think he can get 250 yards, 2 to 3 touchdowns?
I think it'll be a fine QB2 this week.
Anything is possible.
Which wide receiver though, and since he has the best week? I'm going Jamar Chase because I think he's the big play threat, and I think the Bears got beat on big plays last week.
I agree with you. That's who I would have picked as well. It just seems like he almost wants to have that relationship with him. After that, it's T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd is kind of fallen off, at least in the first week. We'll see how that develops. But to me, it does appear that Jamar Chase is going to be his go-to guy.
Yeah, he got a couple more targets. He got 2 more targets, but he did break the big one. I still like Higgins more. I still think Higgins.
I think Higgins has a safer floor, but Chase has the better chance to get you 27 points. Higgins probably will give me 12 to 16.
Higgins
Chase,
can.
yeah.
I mean, I think it all depends on. I mean, yeah, he probably likes Chase better because he's comfortable with him. But man, Higgins can go deep and go up and get it too. So.
Oh, I know he can, but
yeah,
okay, on the Bears, I think Allen Robinson is an easy wide receiver 1 this week. Like, as much as you like Andy Dalton, I think Allen Robinson, big bounce back game after kind of a very disappointing week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we talked about that. That was the Rams defense was going to take away their number 1 player. I don't see the Bengals having a defense like that. That's going to affect.
No, they were in Dalton's face all night. The Bengals don't have any kind of pass rush. They'll be okay.
And just for funsies, Justin Fields, over under half a touchdown. Does he score a touchdown?
He did last week. Why not? If they put him in on the goal line, he's probably getting it. So I'll say over.
Come on.
Anyway, I'm just saying. Anyway, does he get a touchdown? That's all. Does he get 1?
Yeah.
Sure.
Say over.
I don't care.
All right, let's get into this fun game here. Texans at the Browns. One of these teams is undefeated, and it's the Texans.
Who would have said that?
Boys.
They can't even lose right.
They played
They played Jacksonville. I got it, but they still. You don't believe in Brandon Cooks this week, Eric. I still think he's a wide receiver 2. I think he's going to be a wide receiver 2 all year, just because there's nothing else there in Houston.
Sure, I just don't. I wouldn't expect to see the numbers that he put up last week.
15 points. I think 15 points is very doable.
5 for 7 and 132. I don't think he's going to hit 132 yards again.
But maybe
against these guys. But maybe he gets a touchdown. That's doable. I think he'll see 7 targets. I don't think he'll see 132 yards against this team.
Are you more likely to start a Texans running back or a Jacksonville running back?
If you were able to pick up Ingram, yeah, he had 6 carries last week.
So here's my problem with Ingram. I think Ingram is the back when they're leading. The problem is I don't see the Texans leading a lot more this season.
Yeah, that's true. They will probably be down in this
carries.
game.
He got 26 carries last year, but they were up that whole game. David Johnson got a touchdown. Phillip Lindsay got a touchdown. It's going to be a full running back by committee there. I think they like David Johnson in the passing game. I could see David Johnson maybe squeaking into RB2 this week, but not really. I don't like any of them, though. I'm staying away from all of them if you can.
Yeah. DJ got 4 targets.
Tyrod's an okay QB2 if you want a QB.
Yeah, he was very efficient last week. He didn't turn the ball over. He had 2 touchdowns and like 200 yards. That's about what you're going to get from him.
More yards than Jameis.
Yep. What about Brown side of the ball?
You're not wrong.
This week? Are you guys worried that this week Baker didn't have any touchdowns last week? And then in fantasy, like as a real quarterback, great. He only had 6 incompletions, 300 yards. But in fantasy, I don't really want to start him because when they get the goal line, it's going to be smash mouth ball.
Yeah, which is the way they're going to win. So they don't care about fantasy. Baker
no, they don't.
Not a
talking
fantasy quarterback. But he's not a fantasy quarterback you want to start. This week, even against the terrible Texans, it's going to be the Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt show. I'm not. Maybe the defense will probably even score.
He's a low-end QB2. He's honestly down there with Tyrod with me. I almost want to start Tyrod over him just because I think Tyrod might throw the ball more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. You can keep Baker Mayfield. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, though, they're going to eat.
Ooh. Yeah, they're going to eat for sure. They might see 18 carries apiece with this game.
Very possible.
And then what about Jarvis Landry? We like Jarvis this week as low-end wide receiver 2, PPR upside.
Yeah, he might be a wide receiver 3 this week.
Because Odell Beckham is out, has been ruled out again.
They're just going to be able to run the ball so well that it's not going to. I don't think they're going to have to pass it a lot. So maybe Jarvis has an okay game, but
if they start stacking the box though, just because they're pounding the rock, he get a good play action pass off something. Break a big
12
one.
to 16 points is my Jarvis Landry line here. Like 12 to 16 points. It ain't gonna be pretty. It isn't gonna be. It's not gonna win you a week, but he won't kill you this week.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering about is, Brad, can you speak to the Odell Beckham situation for a moment? I know he's your boy, but he's still not playing. Still not playing.
They're easing him into this offense. They don't need him this week. Probably could have used him last week.
Yeah, probably could have used
him last week. Yes, but he wasn't ready. He's not ready. They did the game time decision. I think he had a setback during warmups because he did warm up last week. And I think there was something that happened, and they're easing him in.
Yeah, I just haven't seen any news like what's going on.
I think they would rather have him full go for the end of the season than have him 50 to 60% throughout the whole season. Because remember that first year in Cleveland when he had the core injury, he played the whole season with an injury, and he was way underperforming. They know what he's still good, but.
So you think Anthony Schwartz is a better receiver than him? Got it.
No, but I think for right now, what they were trying to do, I think they're fine with it. This is a team that's honestly trying for a playoff push.
Oh, yeah.
They did last year.
Yeah. And you don't need Odell for that. That's for sure.
Nope.
He's only going to wreck
win the Super Bowl.
Doubt it.
They need a playmaker. They didn't have one last week. That's why they lost.
New England didn't have one for like 4 out of their 6. So not really.
Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, those boys are playmakers.
Wes Welker never won one. So
exactly.
It's too bad with all the CTE he's got too.
Oh,
he's
all righty. Let's move on.
Rams got one to spare. Just give one.
Rams.
Colts. Yeah, let's go Rams Colts.
Bum 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 bum.
Natty snapback. Fire him up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I already told you.
I like Stafford.
Carson Wentz, so you can keep him.
I have Carson Wentz as a low-end QB too. I mean, Carson Wentz or Baker Mayfield this week?
I'm going to go with Baker, Bob.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Houston's defense versus LA's defense? Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's going to be all up in that face.
Nom. He's a monster. They could not block him with 3 people last week. And while this offensive line is better, it's still Aaron Donald and still Jalen Ramsey, and it's Carson Wentz. I don't love it.
I don't love it, but there could be an opportunity for them to throw the ball a little bit more. What about the running back situation? I know you say you like Daryl Henderson this week.
Oh yeah. Fire him all the way up.
I'm not huge on Daryl Henderson this week.
Okay.
That Colts defense isn't bad. They just
no.
I mean, they looked bad last week. They didn't look great last week, but
it's week 1 over hype. But that's my mind. Daryl Henderson. I mean, you're starting him if you got him, probably, unless you got a better situation. I'm still starting Jonathan Taylor. He had 6 receptions last week. Like, he's using the passing game, so I'm not. That's why I'm not too worried. The whole Nyheim Hines is going to take his passing down work wasn't true last week.
Yes.
I mean, Nyheim Hines still had the 4th most targets of any running back last week, but Jonathan Taylor was 6th. So with 7 targets,
dump it down, baby. If Aaron Donald's in his face, how do you beat that? You dump it down.
Yeah, he had 6 receptions for 60 yards. Pretty nice.
Yep. I still have Jonathan Taylor as an RB1 this week.
If I can just say about Daryl Henderson, the reason I'm thinking is that the Colts allowed Chris Carson to get whatever he wanted last week. And Daryl Henderson, he's going to have opportunity. He played over 90% of the snaps when LA's offense was on the field. I mean, that's huge. Sony Michel was the only other back that they really played. So I just think opportunity is a big part of that. And he's talented. I'm not saying he's groundbreaking, but I do think he's going to definitely be worthy this week to go.
Okay. What about the wide receiver situation in LA? Cooper Kupp had the big game last week. Robert Woods was kind of disappointing. He sort of saved it with that touchdown.
Yeah. I was concerned about that. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp have a very good rapport.
They do. And then Van Jefferson got the deep ball because he's fast.
Yeah.
So that's a little concerning.
But it's week 1, and I don't want to do week one.
It's very hard not to overreact, though.
I want to overreact to everything.
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant with Bobby Trees right now. I still love him. I still love his talent.
So
Bobby
I have him
Trees
still
is-
as the number one wide receiver there.
Okay.
What's that?
We saw Russell Wilson light up the Colts defense, right?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, I think we can all say, is a little bit better than Matthew Stafford at this point in their careers.
Well, we don't know that.
Do you agree? Efficiency-wise?
Yeah, he's definitely more efficient. He had, 4 incompletions last week?
But I think the Colts will work on their defense and what they did of letting Tyler Lockett get behind them all the time. So I think that's going to take away from Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson. And there might be some more underneath stuff for Robert Woods.
Hope so. So here's a question.
I think they're both fine plays.
Who would you rather start, Tyler Lockett or Bobby Trees this week?
Bobby Trees.
Interesting.
Who are the Seahawks
I still
playing?
believe in him over Lockett.
Who are the Seahawks playing?
Seahawks have Tennessee.
I think I'd rather go Lockett.
It's 2 boomer, but I know Bobby Trees will give me 12 points. Lockett could give me 2.
I
Could. Or he can get you, what did he have last week? 28 or some nonsense like that? 26?
And I'll play it safe. I know it hurts me every time, but I'll play it safe.
Okay.
I'll go with the safe Bobby Trees.
I'm on 1 because I didn't play Lockett last week. So
You've never played it safe. You have 3 kids, so we know that.
Hey-yo. Hey-yo.
Hey.
anyway,
Any Colts wide receiver you want to start?
No.
are Pittman and Pascal on the injury report? I feel like they're on the injury report. And I'm gonna look it up.
Pittman and Campbell are. I don't know if Zach Pascal is, but
Oh, it's Campbell? Okay.
I don't want anything to do with it anyway.
No, that was a little disappointing last week.
What about-
I think it's a
about
wait
the
and
wide
see on those guys.
It's just I don't.
Go
No,
ahead.
I just don't believe in Carson Wentz. No, I don't. Especially not this week. Maybe in the future he gets a little more comfortable with this offense. He actually starts playing football better again, like he knows how to. But right now, I'm cold on them. Cold on the Colts.
Yeah, so
Tyler
Pascal. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Pascal, go ahead.
Pascal was a full participant in practice. Doyle and T.Y. Hilton and Pittman are all out as of right now. They're questionable. They didn't participate at all. So keep an eye on that situation, especially if you're planning on playing Pittman or Pascal.
How about Tyler Higbee? We haven't talked tight
He's
ends yet.
We have not.
I think he's okay tight
He's
end
okay.
play
Yeah,
with the
he'll be
Colts.
okay.
Nothing
He'll be okay.
flashy.
No.
Bills,
did he do last
Dolphins. It was.
Bills, Dolphins.
Let's move.
This
on.
should be an interesting game.
Let Russ cook.
Do you think Diggs and Allen bounce back against this defense? Because I'm not
Allen,
optimistic.
yes. I think Allen does.
Okay.
I
But not
worry
Diggs?
I worry the Diggs. I think Diggs will be okay, but I don't think he'll have a big game.
You got to start
They
him
are
though,
going
based
to-
on where you.
You
Drafted
you
him.
do have to start him,
You do.
but I don't think he's very fringe wide receiver 1 for me right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I think just based on
They go into
Where-
Miami. Yes, they're at Miami, and that's an
Going
early
to
game.
Miami.
I mean, that's good. The problem is Diggs, either side of the field he goes to, he either gets Byron Jones or Xavier Howard. So that's a tough
It's probably
day.
a safety
all
over
around.
the top of well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sure.
Which means in a PPR setting, I do kind of like the Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders as low-end wide receiver 2 flexi plays.
well, Beazle is still the guy there.
Yeah.
he got so many targets last week, so it's clear to me that he is still the number 2 there, not Manny Sanders just yet. So
I love
sure
that you
they'll
call him
continue.
Beazle.
well, he's got a bad case of the Beazles.
He got
Sanders still
13
had-
targets last week.
And Sanders
That's a
had
lot.
8, though.
Yeah, 13 though. 13.
And 8? Josh Allen threw the ball 51 times. I think he's still going to throw the ball 40 times. So I think there's still going to be a chance for both of them to get double digit.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him. I know Stephon Diggs still led the team in targets, but for me, Cole Beasley's still the guy I want to start. If I have to pick him or Manny Sanders, I'm going with the Beazles.
Oh, I agree with that. But I'm just saying if you're between a rock and a hard place because maybe you took Pittman as your wide receiver 2, I think Emmanuel Sanders could be a good start as a wide receiver, low-end wide receiver 2 option. This
That's
week.
fair.
Because
I'll
I
buy
believe the
Williams,
Bills
though.
are going to still rely on the arm of Josh Allen.
Bingo.
Yeah.
What about Devin? Do you guys like Devin Singletary? Zach Moss, he was out last week, and nobody really knows why.
Yeah. And we haven't heard anything this week about it and whether he's going to play or not. So he had 11 carries for 72 yards, and he got 5 targets, but he didn't do anything with it. I mean, he was pretty efficient in terms of rushing, but on the receptions that he got, he did nothing with the ball. And then they threw it 51 times. They didn't run a lot last year. I don't like it.
Or Kenyon Drake, or Oakland, or Las Vegas running back.
Singletary. Singletary.
I think I'd take Drake.
Singletary or the Dolphins running back situation.
Yeah, the gas man.
I'd take Gaskin ahead of him.
The Bills' defense looked good against the run against Pittsburgh.
I really do think Singletary is going to be fine this week. I mean, the Dolphins did let up over 100 yards to Sony Michel, Damian Harris.
Damian Harris, yes. They probably could have given more to him if he didn't fumble.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Bill will fix that this week. Don't worry.
Yeah, he won't play. Yeah.
Problem is Ramondre Stevenson fumbled too, so we don't know who's going to. It's just going to be James White and freaking that other guy, the special teams guy that they use sometimes, Brandon Bolden.
I would chalk the defense looking good against the run to the inexperience of the Pittsburgh offensive line. I wouldn't chalk that up to them being that great at it.
On the Dolphins side of the ball, Tua, middle of the road QB2 for me.
Wait and see.
Yep. This week, that's all he is. He's in a 3-quarterback league. I'll start him, but I'll start him over like Trevor Lawrence. I'll start him over the rookies this week.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. I'll start him
Trevor
over
Lawrence
Derek Carr.
QB1 last week.
Yeah, not this week. He's got a better defense. He's going to get.
Yeah, he does.
Bench him.
Yep.
Running back Myles Gaskin. I don't
okay.
like him this week. Like I said, I have him behind Singletary, one spot.
Oh.
Let's talk about the receiving situation here in Miami. Like you said, Will Fuller's not playing. Devontae Parker had the most targets, correct? Jalen Waddle caught everything underneath.
Yep.
And Mike Gesicki was on a milk carton. He was missing.
He dang sure was.
So I've heard a lot of
Jalen
people.
Waddle is taking away Mike Gesicki's role.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they drafted another guy. Oh, go ahead.
If you're a Gesicki owner, are you moving on? You
Not
dropping him and
yet.
moving on?
Not yet. I'm not ready to do that yet.
1 or 2 more weeks. If you see the
you-
same kind of stuff happening for the next 2 weeks, then yes, you need to move on. I would stash somebody now.
Are you starting another tight end? And I'll give you guys. So Gesicki's going to be kind of my bar here, and I'll give you some guys as we go, some streaming tight ends. I'm going to ask you if you start them over him as we go out through the show. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
I'm about done with Gesicki, and I'm close to dropping him.
Okay.
I think you should hold him if you can in the league, but depending on how deep your league is.
And they drafted another tight end pretty high to take his spot. So I mean, the writing's kind of on the wall there, which is a shame because he's a very talented tight end. He's just not getting any love there. I don't understand that.
Yeah, once you move into the 3 wide receiver sets all the time like that, you're keeping the tight end kind of in the block if they bring an extra guy. So
It's very important.
Yep.
he didn't run a lot of routes. That's the disconcerting part. Like it wasn't like, oh, he just didn't get targeted and he ran a ton of routes. He didn't run any at all, hardly. So,
All right. Patriots are going to East Rutherford, and they're playing the Jets. Are we starting any Jet this week? No? Cool. Thanks, guys.
probably not.
Not after what you said about Corey Davis. No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, Corey Davis is the only one maybe you thought about starting, but this week, if I have other options, I am going elsewhere and everywhere.
You should.
I don't know. If
He's
I wanna
never
start
lost to
any
a rookie
Patriots.
quarterback, right? Ever?
Bill
Belichick?
No, I don't think so.
Not in their first start. I don't know about.
I think there's
Like
something
middle.
crazy out there. Like he's never ever lost to a rookie QB, which wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was 100% true. But
Now let's talk though about the Patriots side of the ball. Mac Jones, not too high on him this week, just because I don't think he's going to have opportunity. I think they're going to get up early, and it's going to be a running show. The wide receivers there,
No.
Jacoby Meyer maybe get 10 points, but other than that, I don't really want anything. Jonnu Smith or Mike Gesicki?
Smith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Told you. Damian Harris, though, I think is the great play because I think they are going to run the ball. He got 23 carries last week in a close game. I can see him getting 23 again, and hopefully he can get in the end zone.
I like it.
That'd be nice. He got a couple of targets as well, which is nice to see.
I don't want to start James White.
In PPR?
James White in games that the Patriots win has terrible numbers in blowout wins because I don't think they're going to even let Mac Jones try to throw the game away.
Yeah. He had 12 points last week in a close game. So his rushing numbers are abysmal too.
Yep.
Abysmal.
Niners, Eagles. Raheem Mostert out for the year, knee injury. Done.
Is it the year?
Yeah.
The year.
Oh goodness.
It moved quick on Sunday. It went from
it did.
4 weeks, bloop, 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 the season.
Yeah.
No, that was fast.
So Mostert's out. Trey Sermon was inactive last week. I believe Trey Sermon will be active this week.
He will. Yes.
I think Elijah Mitchell was active because he plays one special teams and he was a third down back.
He looked good too.
I think Trey Sermon can fill the role that they had in mind for Raheem Mostert. I think he can be the pound it straight up the middle guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I read a thing today that said it was about Sermon's week of practice. Their OC said it. He's like, he clearly didn't like not dressing last week, and he showed it this week in practice. So he wants the opportunity. He's gonna get it this week. So he'll get a few touches at least.
This week, who's the running back to start?
He better because Carry-On's waiting in the wings.
So I'm not going to bring Carry-On in this, but I got Elijah Mitchell, I got Trey Sermon, and I got JaMychal Hasty. Don't be too hasty to count out the hasty, okay?
I feel like we're all going to want to
Why?
start
Because you picked him up?
I feel like we're all going to want to start Elijah Mitchell, and it's going to be a Trey Sermon game. Like that's the way I feel. Is it's going to be a Trey Sermon game because it's kind of like expected that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the guy. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's going to be Trey Sermon, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys think.
You probably blew all your fab. What's that? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go with the fab. I love it.
You probably blew all your fab trying to get Elijah Mitchell because running backs are going down left and right, and then a lot of guys underperformed last week. So you probably tried to pick him up because he had 100 yards and a touchdown. And then, of course, Sermon's going to come in this week and they'll probably split. They'll probably each get like 12 carries and a couple of targets or 15 carries and a couple of targets. I think it'll be pretty even split. Mitchell, I think, is more valuable in PPR because he looks like the better receiving back. And then Sermon will probably steal like the goal line stuff unless Trey Lance comes in and steals one again. But that's how I feel about the setup right now. I don't think Mitchell will get as many rushing opportunities.
So Elijah Mitchell's numbers look great. 19 carries for 104 yards. But didn't he have like a 60 or 70-yard run for a touchdown?
Yeah, he broke a big one, yeah.
I don't know. Probably.
So when you take the one big one away, his numbers aren't that efficient.
Like Saquon on Thursday night?
Hey, that's Saquon's career, dude.
I know you can't.
I know.
Does Brandon Ayuk suit up for this game?
As from what I've read, no, I don't think he's going to. And thanks a lot, Kyle Shanahan, for the big goose egg on my bench or in my lineup last week for that.
Well, he's got to learn how to be a pro. He's got to learn to be a pro. Okay.
So Elijah Mitchell broke a 38-yard run.
Okay, so I guess it's not as bad.
He averaged 5.5 yards a carry. He looking pretty good.
But that's with the big run. 35.
I mean, it's still pretty good without it.
Okay. But Deebo Samuel, are we rolling the eye on Deebo? 9 receptions, 189 yards, and a touchdown. 1 fumble, but whatever.
Yeah, I like Deebo. Feels like he's the guy there.
He looked great. If you have him, you have to start him based on last week. I mean, they look great. I know they don't want Jimmy G to probably throw it as much as he did last week, but Kittle was non-existent. They ran the ball really well.
I think this is a bounce-back Kittle game. I think they're going to get Kittle more involved. Yes. I think week one, the teams were focusing on Kittle, and that's what went Deebo.
Yeah.
What do Do you guys worry about Deebo Samuel drawing Darius Slay though? I mean, Darius Slay did keep the number one receiver for the Falcons in check last week, Calvin Ridley. I'm just saying.
I think Kyle Shanahan's very good at getting his guys open.
Okay.
Moving Deebo around the formation, putting him in the backfield.
He is very good at that.
Come out of the back. Slay's not going to follow him all around the field. If Deebo lines up in the backfield, which he's done on many occasions, he will move him around that. Around the offense.
Okay.
I don't see a 9 for 189 yards and a touchdown from Deebo, but I do see solid numbers from him.
He could get 7 for 100 and a score.
I think he's a must start this week.
All right.
I agree.
I like him over Brandon Cooks, Corey Davis, all the Dolphins guys, all the Colts guys, probably most of the Bengals guys, probably all the Bengals guys as well.
Wow.
I kind of like Waddle because Tre'Davious White's probably going to follow Parker.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying. But, I mean, I just think that Deebo will get more opportunities.
Agreed.
Jalen Hurts?
Side of the ball. I like him.
Yeah. Fire him up.
Did you guys see that Bart Scott said he'll shave his eyebrows if the Eagles beat the Niners?
No, I didn't. That's great.
Man. I'm hoping for that now. You don't make bets where you have to shave your hair. I know that for a fact. Don't do that. I've lost my own before. But Jalen Hurts, I think he's a nice little start this week. I think he's really he's going to have a good game along with his running back, Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders could have a good game as well.
He could.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts has more 300-yard passing games than Lamar Jackson in his career.
There you go. That's a nice little stat.
So there's only 4 quarterbacks that have more fantasy points in their first 5 games than Jalen Hurts. It's like Patty Mahomes, Cam Newton, 2 other guys. I can't remember off the top of my head who exactly. So he's looking really good. However, they said this on the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. His average depth of target has gone down drastically from last year. So they're just kind of like trying to run those short passes. Now, obviously, his rushing upside gives him a very safe floor. But I think who did they play? Who did they play last week? Can't remember.
They played the Falcons.
The Falcons. So not a good defense by any stretch of the imagination. No. So I think once they get a little bit more tape on him, I think he'll drop off a little bit. He'll still be good. He'll still be his rushing skills give him a very, very safe floor. He'll probably still be a top 12 guy, but I don't know if he'll be number 6 every week after a couple of weeks of tape on him come out.
You don't need to throw the ball far to be great.
That's true.
Drew Brees' entire career. His entire career, he never threw a pass over 50 air yards.
But if teams start moving up to like cover those short passes on those screens, he's going to have to throw it deep eventually.
50 yards or never completed one.
Never threw a pass over 50 air yards, and he had over 9,400 attempts. Jameis Winston did that once already last week. Boom. Just saying.
The one thing about Jalen Hurts that I liked last week was he was efficient. Like, yes, we talk about his yards per time. He was efficient, and he was making good reads, which I think we were all worried about him not getting his guys involved and missing his open targets. Devonta Smith, you guys like him this week? Yes. The Niners lost their best corner to an ACL injury.
Yeah.
Verrett, second ACL injury of his career. So we'll see how that works out for his former Chargers. So I like the Eagle. I like Devonta Smith. He will look quick.
Yeah, he's going to be good this week.
Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert?
Goddard.
Zach Ertz has a hamstring issue, I'm pretty sure. So don't start him.
He's 98 years old.
Oh, Dallas Goedert's going to get a tutter this week, boys. Tutter.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Raiders, Steelers. All right. Anybody on the Raiders not named Darren Waller you're starting? Kenyon Drake in PPR?
Yeah, because I certainly don't expect Peyton Barber to get it done. So, yeah. It's going to be Darren Waller and Kenyon Drake if you're desperate for an RB2, which a lot of people are right now. Kenyon Drake. So
Yeah.
What about, is Derek Carr even a QB2 in a super flex league?
Not this week.
Okay.
Not this week.
I agree.
He was the number 9 quarterback last week.
No, I'm not. Right. I'm not saying that. Yeah, but the Steelers' defense is really friggin' good.
They are,
and they hold on to the ball a lot. They're trying to make long, drawn-out drives, dink and dunking, running the ball a lot. So Derek's not going to get the ball a lot in this game, and it's not going to be good. I'm telling you, I don't like Derek Carr this week, and I think he's actually a really good fantasy quarterback right now, but not this week.
Do you guys expect a bounce back game from Najee Harris?
Actually,
yeah.
I thought Oakland's defense looked pretty good. Like, especially their front seven. I thought they looked okay. And again, the inexperience of that offensive line is very scary. So
I agree.
I don't think so.
But what I think is going to happen is I've already said Big Ben's a QB1 this week. So I think Big Ben's going to air it out about 50 yards. He's going to come home to Pittsburgh and play for his hometown fans and get the terrible towels of flying.
He's a better home quarterback than he is a road quarterback. We know that.
That is
Isn't everybody?
Nope.
But not
James, he played great in Jacksonville.
If you're a Cowboys quarterback, you're always better on the road. So,
all right. Which wide receiver rank the Steelers wide receivers?
You doing this again?
Yep, every week till the day we die.
Johnson, Claypool, Juju. How'd they finish last week?
Johnson, Juju, Claypool.
I agree with Josh. I have Johnson as a wide receiver 1 this week.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Johnson was 35th. And then
it was a very bad Steelers game. Let's be honest.
It sure was.
It was ugly, boys. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say Derek Carr was the number 9 quarterback. He threw the ball 56 times for 435 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Marcus Mariota still looked better than him. All right, moving on to the Saints and Panthers.
He's not wrong.
Mariota got hurt. He ain't going to be doing that again.
Saints are going to Carolina and playing.
Woo!
Which running back has a better week this week, Kamara or CMC?
Well, CMC was the number 1 quarterback last week without even scoring.
He's the number 1 quarterback?
All right, sorry, running back. I mean, he probably could have been, but he didn't even have to score a touchdown to be the number 1 running back in all of fantasy last week. So I'm going to give it to Christian right now based on that he's that good. But Alvin Kamara, I expect both of them to eat.
I got Kamara as my number 1 running back this week. Not an RB1, okay. My number 1 running back.
That's fair.
That Saints defense is underrated. I agree with Brad. I think Kamara. And that dude has averaged a touchdown a game for his entire career. And it hasn't stopped yet. He got one last week.
CMC is my running back 4. I just have a couple guys above him.
I'm not going to argue with you if you want to put Kamara number 1. I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
They're both fantastic running backs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're almost slot receivers.
Jameis Winston's the first player to throw for 5 touchdowns. And what was it, only
148 yards? Yeah.
Yeah, not even 150 yards.
It was the most efficient game ever
of his career.
For LASIK, he should be the poster child for LASIK now.
Well, right now he's on target for like 83 touchdowns, so he'll probably get there.
Perfect.
All right, so Jameis Winston, we don't see another 5 touchdown game, do we?
No.
What do you guys think is a realistic number for Jameis here in this game?
I think 3 is realistic.
220 and 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because they don't have
the yardage go to up. I think the Panthers will be better at controlling the ball, not turning it over, and giving them short fields.
Yeah.
You think the Panthers win or the Saints win? I'm going Saints.
Win.
Yeah,
I like the Saints. Their defense is better, and I think their offense will do. I mean, they won't probably do what they did last week, but they'll still be good.
You guys like any of these receivers?
I was going to ask that. Do we like the Saints wide receivers? And who is it?
No.
Marcus Callaway? Or is it
any of them?
Is it Deontay Harris? Is that the one? Damian Harris? No, it's not Damian.
I don't even know. Deontay Harris.
If you don't know, you don't want to start him.
2 for 2 for 72 and a tutter.
No.
What about the tight end for the Saints?
Which one?
And not Troutman.
No.
That was so frustrating.
No, I don't.
Is that a one? Is that a week one? Just a week one thing? Do you think?
I hope so.
He played 12 snaps, and he got 2 touchdowns. It's mind-boggling.
So rank these 3 players: Mike Gesicki and the 2 Saints tight ends.
Gesicki, stop.
Oh, I would say based on routes run and targets, I would say Troutman and then Juwan Johnson and then Gesicki. Because Gesicki didn't do anything but block last week. Can't catch the ball if you're blocking all the whole time.
I'm not going that crazy, but I do have Troutman as number 1. I think Troutman will be the number 1 tight end there.
I hope so.
I'm trying to think who that Colts tight end was that caught 2 touchdowns week 1 every year, but then never did anything the rest of the season. He did it for like
Eric Ebron
twice. No, it wasn't Ebron. It was like way back. I can't remember. He retired.
Oh,
but it was an older guy. Yeah. What? What are you saying? Oh, we need to speed it up. It's 51 minutes. Jeez, boys. I haven't watched time. All right, I was saying Panthers. Panthers wide receivers, go. Robbie Anderson,
DJ Moore.
That's it.
Yep.
Whoever else they have.
I don't care. All
right, Jacksonville Broncos. I'm not starting anybody in Jacksonville. Maybe DJ Chark just because garbage time. I think he might get a touchdown. Laviska Shenault is okay. Weak PPR play if you want 10 points. If you want 4 yards to catch.
I can see that.
T-Law's going to struggle this week.
Broncos side of the ball. Jerry Jeudy's out. Cortland Sutton, the only wide receiver you want to start, or do you want to do Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick's a good flex option.
Yeah.
I like Tim Patrick.
I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton, but I don't feel good about starting any of these guys this week.
Here's my biggest question about the Broncos. Who's going to be the best running back this week there?
MG3, baby.
I think it's a blowout. Williams got just as many carries.
He got more, actually.
They're both going to do fine this week.
He got like 14 to 11, but Gordon broke that 70-yarder.
Might get more.
Yeah, but this week they're both going to be startable this week.
Yes, I agree. All right, Vikings at the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's great. We're starting him.
He was ridiculous last week.
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds, you guys like him as a RB2 option?
I do.
I agree with you.
Yeah, Minnesota's defense isn't that great.
Low end flex.
No.
Maybe get end zone work.
Maybe, but no.
I don't like it. I don't want to do it either.
So Chase Edmonds was middle of the pack for RB2, and then
Connor's way down there. You're praying he falls in the end zone. So you're playing with Connor.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings side of the ball. Dalvin Cook, I have him as a top 5 running back this week. I love it. Dalvin Cook. I think Justin Jefferson gets back on the map here because I think this might have to be a shootout.
Are we worried that Chandler Jones has 5 sacks again? I'm a little worried about that he just blows up Kirk Cousins.
No, that's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, Taylor Lewan got blown up by Buda Baker last week, the safety, who he outweighs by like 100 pounds. So, no, Taylor Lewan just was trash last week. That's all.
Right.
Speed this up. Falcons, Bucks.
We didn't talk about
Kyle
Kirk Pitts.
Huh. Bro, Kirk Cousins, he's Kirk Cousins, man. He's a low-end QB1, high QB2. Like, yes, I think it's going to be a shootout. So, yes, I think he's startable this week.
Yeah. Hey, sorry. We're just going to talk to people.
It's not pretty fun about Kirk Cousins.
I don't like anybody from Atlanta from this defense against the Tampa defense. Do you really? After last week? They look bad.
All the Tampa corners are hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts, baby. Let's go.
Calvin Ridley. I don't know about
sure.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, we'll see. I think he's still working.
If you draft him in the 4th round, start him.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts over Gesicki, right?
Yeah. Come on. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
I got AB as the number one. I got no, not this run defense.
Yeah, I think this is a bad. I think it's a bad week for him. I mean, you saw they shut Zeke down.
And Cordell Patterson
got 7 carries last week. I was shocked. Okay, here's the real question: you're starting all your Bucs receivers. You're starting Brady. What's that?
I got AB as a wide receiver.
AB this week again. I still like Godwin number 1, but are you starting any running backs from Tampa Bay? Because I'm not. They looked awful against Dallas.
I might start Rojo. I might.
Ew, he had negative points.
I
But
understand.
that's why you got to think opposite. Like we're all down on Rojo. It's time to start him, right, Josh?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like if I'm in a deeper league, I'm probably gonna go Rojo over Lenny.
And I like Gronk this week. I don't know. I'm just gonna start Gronk. Like if you got him, I'm starting him over against
the problem is that I don't expect all three of these guys plus Gronk to eat. So who's going to be the odd man out this week? Is it going to be Mike Evans again? You think so? Really?
I do, because
Brady
he draws
loves
number
AB.
one coverage, and then AB eats because he can just do whatever he wants against the third corner.
He looks
and then
good.
just do something. And then Gronk weasels his way in the end zone.
Yeah, Gronk gets the red zone because Gronk's like, I'm a huge target, and Brady's like, you're a huge target. Here you go. What do they want? They got 100 now together. Why not make it 101?
AB looked so good last week.
People forget how good he really was, and he's not that old. Yeah,
He's still quick. I still think AB's the number one guy there. Cowboys, Chargers. I love Amari this week. I really like CeeDee Lamb. I got Amari in the wide receiver, like top 10 wide receivers.
Number one wide receiver last week.
Yep. I got CeeDee Lamb, I think, just outside my wide receiver one. I like Dak this week. He's in my top 5 of quarterbacks. Zeke, I have him at running back 10. I think it's going to be a little bit of a bounce back game.
It depends if they have to keep him in the pass block again, because that line didn't look great. Although they got some guys back this week, so hopefully that helps because they were on
Zach Martin's back.
COVID. Yeah, they were on COVID restrictions, so hopefully that helps because he had to pass block the whole damn game, which
And the Chargers are going to put up points, especially with DeMarcus Lawrence getting hurt.
55 point over under.
That was one of the other guys with Jalen Hurts for the top 5 best fantasy performance in their first 5 games. Justin Herbert is one of those guys.
Yes.
Justin Herbert, I have him as a QB1 this week. Austin
good.
Eckler, I got him at RB8 this week. I like Austin Eckler. I think
Keenan Allen.
Off the injury report, Keenan Allen, loving. Mike Williams, I have as a wide receiver 2.
Go to Jared.
I'm not going to Jared. He looked old and slow last week, dude.
Jared. He got a touchdown. Go to Jared.
No, I like Mike
If you're
Williams.
streaming him, go to Jared.
I can't.
They went to Mike Williams a lot. He had a lot.
Give me 2 more weeks of this, and then I'll buy into the Mike Williams hype. But right now, I'm still cold on him. Okay.
That's fine. You can do that. But, I mean, if you have any of these guys this week, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I think you can pretty much start what you got here.
I like it.
All right.
Not Roundtree, though. All right, Titans, Seahawks.
All right.
Russell Wilson just going to feast. Seahawks have never lost to Titans. We good here with Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
We're good
Is DK Metcalf not going to get any targets this week, though?
No, he'll be fine. I think it'll be a DK game.
I hope so. So it's not a Lockett game this week. Lockett's going to get 0 targets this week. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're both going to be fine this week.
I think they're both be fine. I think Lockett's – that's his big games out of the way, so you can just – whatever.
Yep.
What about Derrick Henry?
Start him.
I'm starting him. I think it's a bounce back game. I think the Seahawks are going to score fast in a hurry, and the Titans are going to try to slow the ball down. Tannehill?
Start him.
Yeah, I think
Seattle's defense is overrated, and they always start slow.
A.J. Brown?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I think Julio's a good flex option, too.
They did not look good together, though. Julio did not. Julio and Tannehill were not on the same page.
They'll figure it out. They barely played in the preseason. Give them a chance.
Yeah, I think Todd. I think Julio Jones is going to be terrible this week. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yep, I'm not starting Julio this week. I'll start A.J. Brown, but I'm not starting Julio. And then Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett or Mike Gesicki?
Everett got a tutter, too, last week. I like Gerald Everett. He's athletic. And they didn't have
athletic. Stop saying that.
Sorry. So Elijah Moore didn't really get any of the big slot work that I thought he was going to get, and it seems like Everett is kind of just getting that easy dump it over the middle stuff because Carson didn't get a lot of targets. So,
yep. And Chris Carson, we're starting him, right? Running back too.
Yeah.
Chance to be an RB1 if he falls in a couple times.
My concern with the Titans is this new offensive coordinator. He's not good. Todd Downey, he's hurting their value a lot.
I worried about this in the offseason.
Arthur Blank looked terrible with Atlanta last week.
Yeah, but he's a good play caller. We know that.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
He
might not have been last week, but I'm just telling you.
Give him time to get that offense right. All right. Chiefs at the Ravens Monday night. Or no, is it Sunday night? Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night football. So Mahomes, Kelsey?
Yep.
Hill?
Yep.
CEH?
No.
RB2?
Yeah, he'll probably be an RB2 low end.
CEH or Jamal Williams?
Oh, Jamal Williams.
Jamal.
Garbage time Kings. Let's go.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah.
Yeah. CH gets – so Mahomes took his touchdown, and he didn't look to dump it off to him. He was like, well, Kelsey's covered. Hill's covered. I guess I'll take it myself.
He has no red zone work.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravens. Lamar Jackson. If
Yes.
you're drafting, you're probably starting him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Kirk Cousins or Lamar Jackson this week, Josh?
Oh, Lamar Jackson. Come on. Don't.
Okay.
I'm not going to
I just
disrespect.
wanna
I'm not going
make
to
sure.
disrespect that man that way. Come on.
Last year when he played the Chiefs, he got rocked and they got up early and they couldn't do anything. Any wide receivers from the Ravens we want to start?
No.
Sammy Watkins?
No.
No.
Okay, cool.
And I think Marquise Brown is on the
I think he's hurt
injury
this week.
report.
Obviously, he's on the injured hurt.
So
He caught 3 balls.
Sammy could be a decent play this week, but he'll get hurt, and that's
Mark Andrews?
start him.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't look great last week, but yeah,
And
definitely start him.
then, do we want to start the running backs? Taysom Williams got nothing in the second half.
And you know the
Devonta
frustrating thing is they said
Freeman.
the frustrating thing is they said that's the way it's going to be. They're going to use all their guys. Tyson Williams, who looked really good.
He did
So
look good.
It only makes sense to not continue to use him. So good job, Harbaugh.
Latavius Murray, Devonta Freeman, and Tyson Williams. I don't know what's going on there.
Gun to my head, had to start one. I like Latavius Murray. I think if he gets into that offense, I think he'll be really good.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Lions, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, big bounce back game. I have him in the top 6 of quarterbacks. I think he's just going to feast on the Lions.
He's going to be mad.
Yes. He's looking like a homeless man out there, but it's okay.
He does
Like
look
Aaron
homeless.
Rodgers. Love Devontae Adams. Love Aaron Jones this week. All your
Please,
Packers
Aaron
that let you
Jones.
down.
Please.
Robert Tonyan or Mike Gesicki?
Tunyon.
Tons of fun, boys.
He runs routes.
Go eat a Funyun and start Robert
Food.
Tonyan.
Fuji's and Funyuns. Fuji's and Funyuns.
Okay. Lions side of the ball. I'm going nowhere near Jared Goff. Last week was a fluke. It was all garbage time. It was all trash.
What do you think it's going to be this week? Same thing, dude.
Nope. I think people saw it like, okay, so cover the running backs, copy. Cover Hawkinson, copy.
Yeah,
I'll still start Hawkinson this week because I think is there a wide receiver in Detroit that you guys can name right now? Go.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
that one.
Quintus Cephas.
Cephas. Brashard Perryman.
No, Perryman's not there. He's a bear. Perryman got
Wait, when did that happen?
They cut him.
offseason. Yeah, the Bears signed him. Yeah.
They're like, we don't need
Oh,
this.
boy. I guess
We don't
that's
need
it, huh?
We're so good, we don't even need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not
Jamal
really.
Williams, DeAndre Swift. Who has the better game?
Jamal.
If it's the same snap disparity, I say Swift.
Jamal.
Okay.
Jamal's a better back.
He's not. Calm down.
He's the better
You guys
back.
just want me to trade him to one of you. That's all.
I gave you a sweet deal.
At least give me a first round pick.
Yeah, I'll throw 2 out there if you want it. We'll talk about that off the show. All right. Any parting words? Any parting shots? Anything you guys want to say?
Yeah, I meant Dwayne Estridge for Seattle,
I know
not
you did.
Elijah Moore. So,
I figured.
yeah. But he didn't get any work.
And that's how we do it. We cut off our co-host. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. You can check me out on Twitter at FFJoshHughes. Sorry, I don't even know my own Twitter handle. Brad's at Tack Jones. Erica's at GunsOfL19. The show is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at EmptyWagonFF. We appreciate the love, you guys. Please hit us up with any questions you have. We love you, and we hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.